Hong Kong Passage is an episode of the American television detective series Hawaiian Eye. Synopsis: a chartered flight from Hong Kong to Honolulu carries 8 passengers, including Tracy Steele. Unknown to them, the plane is hijacked by co-pilot Barney Mitchell, who forces Captain John O'Neill to fly off course. In the cabin, Steele sees an old girlfriend, Lisa Barton, who is traveling with Ed Turner, a U.S. government agent. Before long, the stewardess, Su Ling, finds Ed Turner's murdered body. Steele and Su Ling try to contact the pilot, but are unable to gain entry to the cockpit. Meanwhile, Mitchell radios a mayday call with a phony position, then directs O'Neill to land at an airstrip on a small island near the Philippines. Once the plane lands, passenger Jason Plane takes charge, holding a submachine gun on Tracy Steele. Another passenger named Key has a pistol, and joins Jason and Mitchell in herding the others off the plane and into a stockade at the remote airstrip. Back in Honolulu, Tom Lowe Parker is told Steele's plane has gone down at sea. Lisa Barton is separated from the other passengers. She is also a U.S. agent, and is to be delivered to mainland China. Steele manages to escape, and also frees Lisa, but there is nowhere to go on the small island. When Jason threatens to kill elderly passengers Mr. and Mrs. Jennings, they are forced to surrender. Steele and Captain O'Neill are separated from the others in a more secure storeroom. They discover a drum of aviation fuel, and use it to make a Molotov cocktail, while Key is distracted by Kin-san, the crazy old man who hangs around the airstrip. O'Neill overpowers him and Steele firebombs the captor's quarters. Mitchell is killed, Jason is overpowered, and the captives are free to resume their flight. Episode cast: series regulars, Anthony Isley as Tracy Steele, Robert Conrad as Tom Lowe Parker, Connie Stevens as Cricket Blake, Ponce Ponce as Kim. Recurring characters: Doug Mossman as Moke, Andre Philippe as Paul. Uncredited guest stars: Mary Anders as Lisa Barton, Whit Bissell as Jason Plane, James Hong as Key, Robert Gist as Barney Mitchell, Paul Langton as Captain John O'Neill, Maria Cian as Su Ling, Byron Falger as Mr. Jennings, Louise Lorimer as Mrs. Jennings, Mark Tapscott as Ed Turner, Kei Chung as Wong, H.T.T. Xiang as Kin-san, Tom Ingersoll as Pat Miller. Musical interlude: all the Warner Brothers detective shows of the late 50s and early 60s had a musical interlude written into the teleplay. For this episode, Connie Stevens sang an abbreviated version of A Very Special Day with the Shell Bar Band. Episode notes: the series' main characters Tom Lowe Parker, Cricket, and Kim are only present in a few brief scenes of this episode. The tense drama of this episode was somewhat lightened by the bizarre antics of the character Kin-san, who mocked and bedeviled captors and captives alike. This was a rare touch of the absurd in a series that usually stuck to mainstream humor.